Hey guys,
So we're here today to talk about the concert that we just attended. I was
yeah,
look. I'm
you're
having
looking
a
for a
hard time.
fancier word?
Yeah, I was looking for a fancier word, and my vocabulary did not permit me to
Your,
go.
your vocabulary is quite,
Is quite limited.
yeah,
It's quite limited. So I couldn't come up with a fancy word, or like my brother used to say, a word with a lot of letters.
yeah,
Like for some reason, words with a lot of letters are fancy. I don't know. I think it's English is a second language kind of thing.
yeah.
Anyways, we're here to talk about the concert we just attended. That was Fozzy in the great city of Toronto. Turns out that Toronto made the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never thought that would happen because I've seen Fozzy post tour dates and concerts, and Toronto was never on the list. But finally,
Toronto's on the list.
Toronto
Toronto's
made the list.
Yeah.
He actually said that at the end of the show. Toronto made the list. So we went to see Fozzy. It was at your favorite venue,
The Rock Pile.
the Rock Pile, all ages Rock Pile. So we went there. Now let me ask you this: do you think this was the biggest crowd we've ever seen at the Rock
Yes.
Pile? I think this was the biggest
Bigger
crowd.
than Havoc.
Bigger than Rivers of Nile, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, bigger than Rivers of Nile. So this was the biggest crowd I think that we've seen
And
there.
also, I gotta say, this is one of the first Rock Pile concerts that every single opening band was good. Because usually the opening bands
Usually there's a lot of riff-raff at the Rock Pile, let me tell you guys. If you remember that video we did where the guitar sounds were out of whack, and yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of riff-raff showing up at the Rock Pile, opening up for the headliner. Because normally they're like small little Toronto bands.
Yeah.
They're like up and coming, they're trying to just get themselves heard. There's a lot of poor quality bands, but God bless them.
Yeah.
God bless their souls. They go up there and they try really hard. They really do. But trying hard is just not hard enough. It's just not good enough. Not good enough. That's what I meant. So anyways, but today you're right. This is the first time that we've been at the Rock Pile. This is the biggest crowd we've ever seen at the Rock Pile, and this was the first time where there was not one single bad band on the list. I think the reason why is none of them were like local
Toronto bands.
Yeah. Well, there was one Toronto band, but they're not like riff-raff. These guys are more established. Let's put it that way. So let's give the folks at home a quick rundown of the three bands opening for Fozzy before we talk about Fozzy. I really enjoyed myself, by the way.
Yeah.
I had a fun time. So the first band was Farewell to Fear. I've never heard of them before until today.
We got two guitar picks.
We got two guitar picks, one from the bassist and one from the guitar player. What did you think of Farewell to Fear?
They were good. I gotta say, his vocals were really nice.
The guy had a nice voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like a hard rock band.
Yeah.
Right? They were not...
Most of the bands say were...
I would say the first two bands plus Fozzy, obviously they're hard rock. Then there was a third band that was more like blues, rock, blues. And we'll talk about that one. I really want to give that one some attention because that really blew my mind.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, Farewell to Fear. They said they were from Florida, which, by the way, it's where Chris Jericho lives these days. That's where Y2J hangs out.
Yeah.
Even though he's Canadian from Calgary, he lives in Florida.
And he has long hair now.
Yeah, he's letting his hair grow apparently.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Fozzy when the time comes. So Farewell to Fear was the first band opening. I enjoyed it. It was hard rock, not too heavy, good vocalist.
Yeah.
Nice songs, nice sound, nice stage presence. It was the first band going on. It's your typical hard rock band, right? Like it's nothing too fancy. But having said that, there was quality in them. They were a solid band.
They were.
And I really enjoyed the vocalist, I must say. So that was Farewell to Fear.
Then one of my favorites of today, Deadset Society.
They're from Toronto, by the way.
Yeah.
They reminded me of 3 Days Grace.
They did.
So,
and also, the lead singer had a lot of energy. Like, he climbed on the roof and he was just there.
He was hanging from the rafters.
Yeah.
And the last song, he went into the crowd and he was standing on a table or something. Deadset Society, they're from Toronto, so they were a local band, but they're not your local riff-raff, right? These guys have been around. They're good performers. They're good musicians. I really enjoyed the lead singer.
His
vocals were really, really good.
By the way, we forgot to say on Farewell to Fear that he had a phone
on the mic stand.
On the mic stand.
And when he sang into the phone, it was like electronic.
It was like actually talking on the phone.
Yeah, but it had a little bit of like,
Yeah.
like it had almost like it had a filter to it or something. Yeah,
But with Deadset Society, it was like a classic microphone.
yeah.
They
But
had a regular one and they had a classic one.
so going back to Deadset Society, I really enjoyed their set. Their set, I think, of the 3 opening bands, they were the shortest.
Yeah.
At least to me, it felt like it was the shortest. Maybe because I really enjoyed it, it felt the shortest to me. It felt they were the shortest. Now, for anybody watching this review, if you're a fan of 3 Days Grace, which, by the way, they're also from Toronto.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of 3 Days Grace, check out Deadset Society. Very similar in style, very similar even in their look, very similar in the sound. So if you're a fan of 3 Days Grace or bands like 3 Days Grace, Deadset Society is right down your alley.
Yeah.
I highly recommend checking them out. Live, they were really good. Live, they were really good. Now, I've been dying to get to this third band, all right? The third band is Jared, Nichols, James. All right. When they first said Jared, because it's hard for you to hear sometimes with the PA and whatever. I hear Jared, and my mind immediately went, is Jeff Jarrett here?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Chris Jericho is here. Maybe Jeff Jarrett is here with his guitar. So he'll play like an acoustic set and then he'll break the guitar on somebody's head. I'm not lying to you. This is exactly where my brain went to Jeff Jarrett.
Why?
Why not? Chris Jericho is there. Why can't Jeff Jarrett be there? Maybe.
I don't have a valid answer for that.
Maybe he has an acoustic set that he's like pimping around. You know, pimping ain't easy, and neither is wrestling. So, don't ask me why. When I heard, I heard Jared,
yeah.
I was like, Jeff Jarrett?
Shaggy?
Shaggy? Jeff Jarrett? That's exactly what I thought, all right? It wasn't Jeff Jarrett. Having said that, I was not disappointed that it wasn't Jeff Jarrett. Because who we got was a trillion times better than any Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
People at home. I'm even going to fix my chair. People at home. Children of all ages. Parents. Wives. Whoever you are at home watching this right now. If you're... And you tell me if I'm saying anything that's a lie. If you're a fan of great guitar playing, check out Jared Nichols James. Do yourself a favor, go on YouTube and search for Jared. I'm gonna say it slowly. Jared Nichols James. Check this fucker out. Check him out.
It's him, a bassist, and a...
He's the band. He just has a bassist and a drummer with him. It's a trio, but it's his band, right?
He plays with his fingers, like not his nails, like his actual just like fingers.
The things he does with that guitar, without a pick, it's absolutely. I saw myself during his set. I was not even looking at the bassist. By the way, the bassist was really good.
Yeah,
the bassist and the drummer both were really good. Those 3 guys is what I would consider musicians. You know, there's a lot of people that consider themselves musicians because they play an instrument and they think they make music. No. These guys are musicians. These guys make music. The way
it's like
a bluegrass, blues, rock, hard rock. It's a fusion of sounds.
Yeah, it's a blues hard rock fusion.
It's like if you grab like AC/DC, Blues Traveler, I don't know, like some bluegrass. I don't listen to bluegrass, so some bluegrass guy. Throw in a little bit of country because there was a little bit of a country vibe to it, and then old style rock and roll, like like Led Zeppelin, the Doors, that kind. It was such a mixture of blends because every song had a different vibe to it, had a different blend to it. But overall, I would say it's like a blues rock. I would say blues rock, bluegrass, blues rock.
Out of all the opening bands, he had the longest.
He had the longest set of the... But you know what?
It was...
Folks, we're on the front. My eyes were freaking glued on his hand. He would play, not with his nails, with his thumb and his finger.
Like,
He
his
played
thumb
the
was-
guitar
his
like
thumb
if it was
was-
acoustic.
Yeah, his thumb was like on the top string, and then he was using the other ones.
And did you notice it was he removes a piece from the that?
Yeah, he removed I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, me too. I'm drawing a blank here. But anyways, he removed it so that his fingers can pick better.
Yeah.
I was so like
That's dedication.
dude. I was speechless during his set. I honestly, he also sings. By the way, we forgot to mention that, but he also sings.
And his vocals.
His vocals are good. His vocals are a little bit of blues.
Yeah.
Like, almost like a male version of Janis Joplin, too. Like, he has so many... This guy, he was born in the wrong era. Because he sounds like he's from, like, the late 70s. Like, he has so many... His sound has so many different influences. It's like... He's a sports bag of music.
Yeah.
Like, the guy just... Every song was like, wow, that sounds a little bit like Janis Joplin meets, Jefferson Airplane. Then the next one is like, wow, that's more blues. Then the next one is, well, that's just pure rock and roll. Then the next one, it's like, wow, that sounds almost like something, I don't know, something completely different than the other one. Yeah. Every song sounded different, but the way he was playing, the way he was using his finger. He even had a whammy bar. He would use his fingers in a weird way to like make the sound.
You know what's funny? I didn't notice he took apart that pizza out of his guitar.
You didn't notice? That's the first thing I noticed.
I didn't notice until like
it was not like it was
after because he was carrying it away. I'm like, wait,
I can't remember.
The bottom one's there, but the top
one was not there. Then he goes into the audience asking who knows how to play guitar. There's a dude there that probably the last time he saw a vagina was when he was born. He gives that guy the guitar. I was like, oh god, this is going to be like one of those made-for-TV moments. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be cringy as fuck. Holy shit, the dude could also play the guitar. Like, obviously, he doesn't date a lot. He doesn't look like he goes on a lot of dates. So he probably has a lot of time to practice his guitar playing. Because the guy could fucking...
That's the biggest...
What?
That's the biggest insult.
No, I'm actually giving him a compliment. The dude could play guitar.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he could play the guitar. He grabbed he grabbed Jeff Jarrett's guitar. Jeff Jarrett. And he's like freaking like going to town on it. Like he was like jamming. Like really good. I was like, holy shit. Not in a million years would I have thought Poindexter could play the guitor like that.
Dexter.
Yeah, because he had glasses.
Yeah, but when I think of Poindexter now...
No, you think of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay, no, he was not that cool, No. Or that determined to kill people. No. I was impressed on how that guy played the guitar, because I wasn't expecting that at all, you know what I mean? But let's say this, guys, once again, before we talk about Fozzy, we gotta talk about Fozzy, because this is taking forever. Do yourselves a favor, go check out Jared Nichols James. This dude is absolutely incredible on the guitar. Like, he's a magician with that guitar. What he does with an electric guitar, with it's not just that he doesn't have a pick, it's how he uses his hand. Yeah. He plays in such a weird way.
I get it, if you don't use a pick, you can use your fingers if you have long fingernails. But no, he's using his actual, like...
It's almost like he's playing bass.
Yeah.
Like he's finger tapping, like, but it's with an electric guitar, and he makes the sound... He makes an absolutely incredible sound with the guitar.
Yeah.
It blew me away. I've never heard of this dude before. It blew me away. How talented, how good this guy was. By the way, this is not the last you've heard of him, because... We'll talk more about him in a minute. Now, Fozzy comes on. Chris Jericho, Y2J.
Yeah.
By the way, he wore that jacket with the lights that lights up, and his fancy scarf.
And the scarf also.
It was really cool. Like that he came wearing that jacket and stuff. I took a bunch of videos and some pictures. It'll go on Instagram.
It was really nice to see how even during the set he was acting like Chris Jericho himself, because he was walking around like with his hand like this while he was singing.
No, and the stuff that he would say to the audience would be like almost like an episode of Raw. Like when he comes down, he starts roasting people. Like, I think he's always in character.
Yeah.
The impression that I get from Chris Jericho today,
is his character.
He is Chris Jericho. Like, who you see is an extension of who he is. And by the way, I really enjoyed Fozzy.
Yeah.
And I don't think the musicians in the band really get the credit that they deserve because they're really good.
And they hype you up.
And
Mostly the guitar player who is right next to us.
the bassist, even the other guitar player, everybody's so energetic, so hyped. Plus, that venue is the best. Because we could touch Chris Jericho if all we had to do is extend our arm.
Yeah.
There's no security, nothing. You're so close. The set was long. They played 15 songs. Now, they played 15 songs. They played 2 covers. They played TNT from AC/DC, and we'll get back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
And they play SOS from ABBA. I'm a big fan of ABBA. The only way SOS today, by the way, was a really good cover. It had more of a rock metal spin to it. The only way that song would have been better is if Tommy from Sabaton had shown up and did a cameo with them. That's the only way. If Swedish Hits meets Fozzy, that's the only way that would have been better. But there was a cameo. Freaking Jeff Jarrett. I'm kidding, it's not Jeff Jarrett. It's Jared Nichols James. He shows up to play TNT from AC/DC with Fozzy. So you said that they give him a pick, right?
Yeah, so I may be wrong about this, but...
Probably not.
Probably not. They gave him a pick and he just threw it into the crowd.
Picks? These are for bitches. I don't mean that for the girl that was in the front row that grabbed the pig. That's not what I meant. I meant, you know.
Just like, nah, I'm just gonna use my fingers.
Picks. Who needs those?
Did you see my show earlier? You should know that I don't need this.
Yeah, exactly. Picks, who uses these things?
And he brought out a different guitar than the one he had earlier. And
I think the one he used, I don't think it's his. I think it's from the Fozzy guitars.
Yeah, because it had the thing in it.
Yeah, so I think he used just one of their guitars.
But even with it in it, he's still
able to... And he did the solo and everything for TNT, the AC/DC song.
I think just removing that thing makes it a lot easier.
I think it makes it easier for the style that he uses to play, right? So he did that song with them on stage. His guitar playing, once again, was like I was listening to Angus Young. It was like it was perfect. He did the solo. He did like I was like, wow, is there anything this guy can't do with the guitar? Wow,
play with the pick.
Yeah, probably that's the only thing he can't do is
maybe
give him a pick and go.
He was like he was learning how to play guitar. He's like, what is this? Breaks a string with the pick. Okay, I'm not using this anymore.
He was incredible. Anyways, I really had to wrap this up. I really enjoyed Fozzy, Chris Jericho, like you said, and I just said. He's a character. He's an extension of himself. Yeah. And today was no different. He really knows how to hype up the crowd. The place was really rocking. Honestly, we've been to the Rock Pile many times. We've been there to watch bands where there were like 10 people in the crowd. No lie. This is the hypest crowd I've seen. This is actually more than Havoc, more than Rivers of Nile.
This is the first Rock Pile concert that I've actually been hyped. Because the guitar player in front of us was so hyped. He was like... just moving everywhere, jumping. Everybody.
But even the crowd. Like, we've been there. I would say Rivers of Nile and Havoc, perhaps those were the 2 more ruckus crowds.
Yeah.
But this crowd was bigger. Like, the place was packed. Right? And the crowd was like... Not there was no circle pit, there was no moshing, no crowd surf, but the crowd was hyped. Yeah. They were into the show. When he came out with a jacket with the lights, everybody went crazy. You know,
he took out this gun that started shooting like this cold air at us.
No, it's supposed to be like it's almost like a fire extinguisher. It was shooting blanks after a while, but it was supposed to shoot like this white foam smoke.
It was supposed to shoot confetti because I saw confetti come out of it.
I don't think it was supposed to shoot confetti. Maybe there was some in there, but I don't think so. Because I saw it connected to a tank.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe the tank is just for the pressure.
The guy came out, what's it called?
One of their sound guys?
One of the sound guys came out, and the guitar player used him as a footrest for the solo. I really enjoyed Fozzy.
Let me put it this way. If you like hard rock, you definitely should check them out.
Yeah.
If you like rock, you should check them out. If you're a fan of Chris Jericho, you should check them out.
Yeah.
If you like music, good rock music, and you want to have a fun night out, this was fun.
This was.
I honestly, I had a lot of fun tonight. We were there with a couple of guys that I know from other shows. Mitchell, he's a Portuguese guy that goes to almost as many shows as I do. It's incredible. I see him at every show. So we were there with him and stuff. I had a fun night. Yeah. I enjoyed myself. I had a fun night. The sound was good. The bands were all good, and Chris Jericho was Chris Jericho, and it was so nice to see him. I mean,
full character.
And we've been wrestling fans for such a long time. So how nice it was to see him up and close. You know what I mean? Singing you know, rock tunes for us.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I had a fun night. Also, one thing I didn't mention, these are the most expensive tickets I've ever bought for a show at the Rock Pile. Like $50.
$50?
Yeah, like Rivers of Nile was like 20 and
like
Havoc was like 25.
Yeah.
So these were 50.
I mean,
Each. 50 each. So,
but
it was worth it.
It was.
Considering all the 4 bands on the bill.
And it wasn't any like... There was
no riffraff.
There was one Canadian band, but it wasn't a riffraff.
No, exactly. So, anyways, guys, this is it for today for our concert review. If you guys have a chance to go see Fozzy, check them out. They're a blast. They're a lot of fun. And like I said to you guys, go check out Jared Nichols James. This guy's incredible with the guitar. He not only makes the guitar cry, he does to the guitar what Odin from Norseman does to other men.
He rips him back with the fingers and the tongue. With the
just the fingers, not the tongue. He just uses the finger. All right, guys, come back tomorrow. We'll have some videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.